This baby was born into a fortune worth hundreds of billions, but after the nurse bathed him, she realized he had stopped breathing. Terrified that the baby's father would blame her, she panicked and ran to call the doctor. But the phone was already being used by the billionaire's butler, so she blurted out the truth. Just as she dialed the number, the butler hung it up and grabbed her hand. His own wife had just given birth too. To repay the billionaire's kindness, he offered to swap his newborn son with the dead baby. Before the nurse could react, the butler was already in the room, switching the two babies. But just as they left the room, a loud crack of thunder rang through the sky, and the baby in the nurse's arms suddenly started breathing again. She was overjoyed and tried to switch them back, but the butler snatched the baby away and warned her not to ruin his plan. Turns out he wasn't repaying a favor. He wanted his own son to enter a wealthy family and inherit the billionaire's fortune. He had lived in poverty his whole life. There was no way he would pass up this chance, but the nurse wasn't about to let him get away with it. She tried to take the baby back, so the butler pushed her off a tall building, leaving her in a coma. The billionaire's family had no idea. They happily held the baby and left the hospital in a luxury car. At the same time, the butler took the real billionaire's son away on a motorbike. From that moment on, the fates of the two babies were completely changed. The billionaire gave his son a noble name, Mark, while the butler gave the baby a random name, Dashan. After all, he wasn't even his real son. He didn't want to waste brain cells thinking of a name. The billionaire made time to be with Mark as he grew up. When Mark scored only 9 out of 100, he helped him change it to 99. But when Dashan scored 99, the butler mocked him and kept telling him hard work would never change his fate. The butler never bought Dashan new clothes. Even when his toothbrush was worn out, he never replaced it. He beat and scolded him constantly. And when Dashan finally got into a top university, the butler showed up and withdrew him without a second thought. Years later, when he heard that his real son Mark was back from studying abroad, he sent Dashan out to buy a pumpkin, because someone told him pumpkins could ward off bad luck. But when Dashan arrived at the mansion, he suddenly felt a strange sense of familiarity.